Hello and welcome back to Mac at the Movies. This week I'm going to be reviewing for you the film Is This Thing On? The film was released December 19th, 2025. However, in my neck of the woods, January 9th approximately is when it was released. But everywhere I found online was December 19th. This was released by Leah Pictures as well as Archery Pictures and directed by Bradley Cooper. Starring in this film, we have Will Arnett as Alex, Laura Dern as Tess, Andra Day as Christine, and Bradley Cooper as Balls. Yes, his name is Balls in the film. This follows the characters of Alex and Tess as their marriage is crumbling. It is falling apart, and they're sort of going on their separate ways through what appears to be an amicable divorce. I think I said that word right. It's a bit of a tongue knotter-upper for me. Amicable. But essentially, they're working through a divorce. And this film shows sort of how we lose the passion and how we lose that feeling of love in the past. We're so sort of stuck in where we found the love that we don't continue it and that we don't grow from it. And we sort of leave all those happy moments in the past and we get in this rut of routine and just daily grind that we forget to kind of look to see what's going on right now, that we focus too much on the past that we can't appreciate the now because we're worried too much about the fun we did have versus like what we could do. It's an interesting story how Alex sort of finds himself through finding stand-up comedy. He was out and about one night, just wanted to go get a beer, and they wouldn't let him into this bar, but he finds out that if you sign up for stand-up, you can get in for free without a cover charge. You still have to pay for your beer, which he was willing to do, but he didn't have the cash to do a cover charge. And I'm going to try and say as much about this as I can without spoiling anything. Because I do think I like the way the story goes, and I like the ending that we get out of this one because it seems like an ending we don't often get with divorce movies now. Not that I watch a lot of them, but I've seen a few enough to know that we know how they end. But this one ends sort of different than how I remember others, so I don't want to necessarily spoil that one. Not that I guess I spoiled anything with that. Anyway, I'll just get wrapped up in a loop there. But Alex finds that through comedy, he's able to express himself in ways that he wasn't able to do, say, in his marriage or in his personal life with his friends or with his parents, anything like that. He's constantly having to protect his children from this world kind of imploding on them because, as you know, divorce isn't just hard on the two people in the marriage. It's hard on everyone around you. And I feel like this film did a really good job at showing that through this adventure into stand-up comedy, Alex was sort of able to find himself. Meanwhile, Tess was sort of chasing the past. There was this constant running joke about how the Olympics are 2 years away, and she used to be this amazing volleyball player who played in the Olympics a long time ago. And a lot of what goes on with her is focusing on achieving that past goal and not just moving forward into the future, seeing where you can take everything that you've learned up until this point in life and maybe building upon that, maybe growing from that, versus hoping to sort of relive and rekindle these glory days that just seem to be so far in the past. It's like while you want them, it's unattainable. So the film kind of shows as these two characters grow from their respective kind of slumps. And that all sort of comes back together one night in the comedy club where Tess sees Alex perform live for the first time, saying things that he would have never said to her, which kind of brings up this whole point of, not just sticking into the past, but in most relationships I found, and I'm no professional psychologist or anything like that, but no, how often are we honest with the people that we speak with or that we live with, or what? We're constantly guarding ourselves to a degree, even with those people that we're supposed to be, cut open and vulnerable for. And with this moment, it sort of breaks down all these walls and all these barriers that Alex and Tess once had. And they're sort of able to grow from that. They're able to have more open and honest dialogue, which is something, again, I believe that most people kind of run from, because that fear of confrontation, that fear that, an argument might lead to the crumbling of a world. But their world's already crumbling. They're already working through a divorce. What worse could happen there? That scene did kind of clench my shorts just a little bit. I remember watching the movie, and you see as Tess is watching Alex perform and some of the stuff he talks about, and the entire time I'm thinking, oh, she's just taking killer notes for her divorce lawyer. This is like Alex shot himself in the foot. But I don't want to say anything beyond that. It definitely was one of those moments where I was just clinched to the seat. It was definitely something else. Honestly, I thought this was a great movie. I don't think it's one that I'm going to revisit multiple times in a row, to the point where, it's one of my favorites. But it's definitely one that I would revisit, maybe once a year, and check out, whenever I'm feeling like I want a good divorce movie. Every now and again I like to put in The Marriage, and then there's that other one with Jake Gyllenhaal, I think. Wildfire, I think might be the name of it. I think it was directed by Paul Dano. Check me in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I think that's what that was. And, it's just a couple of variations of, divorce movies we all kind of watch on occasion when we're feeling like a good dramatization of failure. But yeah, I thought this was a great film, an interesting view at how this affects the couple, how it affects the children, how it affects the parents, Alex's parents, how it affects so many people, the friends, and even going back to discussing the honesty, the open and honest, honest behavior of people. There was a moment between Christine and Alex, not good friends in the film. They're sort of just button heads the entire film. But there's a moment of honesty between the two where Christine tells Alex why she hates him, that I thought was beautiful, and done in such a way that, like, you can not like somebody, but do it with, I don't want to say pizzazz, but in a sense that's just honest and kind. You're not being a jerk. You're just, being honest with somebody, which again is tough to do. All in all, I have to give this film a solid 3 out of 5 stars. I definitely say check it out. It's going to be on my yearly rotation. I don't want to talk too much beyond what I had already said. in the film because I want it to be sort of a surprise to everyone. And I really like how the film turned out to the point, like, you know, it kind of warrants a little bit of a tear up. Didn't tear up in this film, but I feel like if I had watched it alone for the first time, I think toward the end it gets a little emotional. But it's pretty good. It's a solid film, solid flick. I definitely say check it out. And if you've seen it, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you score it higher? Did you score it lower? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching the videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.